Oh, another one. Another one is coming. Yep. Everybody gather around. Another box office bomb is coming. And it's coming in the form of Charlie's Angel, a film written, produced, and directed by Miss Elizabeth Banks. Elizabeth Banks, who is probably one of the sweetest young women on the face of the planet. I don't know. I've never met her. But I will tell you this. I've never really had an issue with Elizabeth Banks. But this right here is her ode to girl power. This is her love letter to everything about the great feminine. And it's coming out November 15th. And so far, the interest level is bleh. There is none. Guys, if you like the content that's on his channels, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you can get more of this sort of content where we talk about all the stuff that's going on in the world of arts and entertainment, as it were. Well, Charlie's Angel is the latest attempt to reboot a franchise. And this franchise was a franchise that was not really, nobody really was holding their breath exactly to see this franchise rebooted. The original Charlie's Angels movie came out back in 2000, and of course it starred Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, and Drew Barrymore. And it did so well, or well enough, to get a sequel, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, which came out in 2003. Now, in 2019, we're going to see a brand new set of angels in a brand new, wacky, and wild adventure. Now we're going to have Kristen Stewart, who will be playing a character by the name of Sabina. Naomi Scott will be playing a character named Elena, and Ella Balinska as a character named Jane. Those are your three angels. And now, here are your three Bosleys. You have Patrick Stewart, who will be playing a character by the name of Stan Bosley. You'll have Dijman Hansu, who's a great actor, and I am so sorry I butchered your name, but you are a great actor. He will be playing a character by the name of Sam Bosley, and Elizabeth Banks, who will be playing a character by the name of Susan Bosley. So you have your three Bosleys there. Then, that'll be pretty much your thing. So if you want to get a synopsis of exactly what this movie is, let me read it to you. It's let's see. Charlie's Angels have always provided security and investigative skills to private clients. Now the Townsend Agency has expanded internationally with the smartest and most highly trained women from all over the globe. Multiple teams of angels guided by multiple Bosleys completing the toughest missions around the world. When a young systems engineer blows the whistle on a dangerous technology, these angels are called into action, putting their lives on the line to protect people. Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a great premise. The problem is that what we saw already in the trailer it seems like they are more concerned with putting out that message that, you know, this girls rock and we can kick all the guys' asses and all this other stuff, which they seem to be more focused on getting that message out than actually creating a great movie. And that's what's happening with a lot of these different franchises. We just continue to harp on Terminator Dark Fate for making these decisions to marginalize the males and the OG characters, and now you have another one, Charlie's Angels, which are taking the spirit, the funness out of the original and trying to to put inside of that in its place an agenda. And that's exactly why this is what we're seeing right here. Long range box office tracking predicts poor opening weekend for Kristen Stewart's Charlie's Angels movies. First off, this is not Kristen Stewart's Charlie's Angels movies. This is Elizabeth Banks. Right here, Elizabeth Banks' Charlie's Angels movie. She's the writer, the director, and the producer of this movie. This is her 110%. Kristen Stewart is just a puppet on a string speaking words. That's what she's always been. That's what she will always be. Long range box office tracking predicts a poor opening weekend for Kristen Stewart and Elizabeth Banks' upcoming Charlie's Angels movies. They are The film will have an opening weekend between 25 and 35 million. Check this out. The opening weekend for Terminator Dark Fate, a movie that had Linda Hamilton returning to the role that of Sarah Connor, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had James Cameron attached, only garnered 29 million. This movie is going, apparently according to Box Office Pro, will be between 25 and 35 million, but this was all the way back on October 8th, long before we saw what happened with Terminator Dark Fate. They may be adjusting their predictions at this point. They credit Kristen Stewart, Naomi Scott, and Elizabeth Banks' star power could garner interest in the film, especially among young female audiences writing. Names like those and that of director Elizabeth Banks, the Pitch Perfect movies, will hopefully bolster appeal to a young female audience not familiar with the series or the feature films of the early aughts. Here's the problem with that. I do not think that young women identify with them strongly enough to go out in droves to watch this movie, or at least enough that you can have a solid box office performance for Charlie's Angels. The interest just is not there. I have not spoken or seen any woman, or I have a teenage daughter, and she's not interested at all in watching this movie. She couldn't care less. She's watched the Pitch Perfect franchises, but she doesn't care about Elizabeth Banks in that way. She cared about all the other characters on there. I think Elizabeth Banks was the one of the announcers or something in those particular movies. I did not follow them myself. And Kristen Stewart was cool when she was in Twilight. She hasn't been cool since. There has been, I don't believe, any movie that she's been in that has been something that young females have flocked to. And Naomi Scott, Power Rangers, unfortunately, was not as good as it could have been financially. I was hoping it would pick up in video so we can see a part 2 of that. I was very interested in seeing where they would go with the Green Rangers. And Aladdin was Aladdin. Aladdin had Will Smith. She has no star power. Naomi Scott has no star power. Not saying she's a horrible actress or anything, but there's no star power there for her. So if Charlie's Angels makes more than $25 million in opening box office, I would be surprised. I think that is a very healthy estimate, a very hopeful estimate. See, here's right here at the bottom, you see, however, they also question whether audiences are actually interested in seeing another reboot of the Charlie's Angels property. They also know it will have some stiff competition with Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, a bomb, Last Christmas, which hasn't come out yet, and Frozen 2, which should do pretty well as far as box office. But I do feel that if you really look, Disney has decided they want to recoup some money because they are not promoting Frozen 2 in the same way that they promoted a lot of other movies. They are hoping that the name of Frozen 2 will get these people out there. They're trying not to spend as much money in the promotion of Frozen 2. I don't think a lot of people really know what day that movie's coming out, but it should be coming out very soon. Maybe more important is that early sales trends are not good. Although very preliminary, early sales trends at various ticketing outlets appear soft. It's quite possible those soft sales trends could be the result of Banks' comments on the film. Now, I'm not going to go into... Okay, I'm going to go into some detail. She said, one of the statements this movie makes is that you should probably believe women. We have as much... This is such a stupid statement. You should probably believe women. We have as much validity in what we're feeling and how we want to go about living in the world, being in the world, and that was really important to me, that we feel like we had characters that were being taken seriously and given a chance to live their best life. Here's the problem, though. I don't think that Hollywood has a grip or an understanding of what that really means to have characters be taken seriously, because what they do is they make the characters that they want to be taken seriously make like a straight person, and everyone else has to get tons dumber around them. They have to be so just irrational in their thought processes. And that's the only way that they can make their character, the one that they really want to be taken serious, is to make everybody else stupid. And I'm assuming that's probably what's going to happen here in this movie, especially from watching that trailer. So we also have here what she says. She would go on to detail that the film has feminism already built in. See, this is why I don't think the young female demographic is going to appreciate this movie. I don't think that young women care about feminism. I don't think that young women are feminists. I think that they are coming into their own. They're learning about themselves. They're learning about the world that they live in. And those sort of ideals get indoctrinated into them as they grow up and maybe go into the real world. And so young women are not going to be attracted to these sort of messages. And they're definitely not going to go if they feel like these messages are going to be shoved down their throats. They definitely don't want that. At least my opinion on that. She said, I honestly feel that the property has all the bona fides of feminism already built in. I really didn't have to do much other than honor its entire history. By that I mean the original TV show was about women who went to the police academy, but they were not allowed to actually be full police officers. They were given the jobs of desk clerks or meter maids. So that's what she wanted to do. Kristen Stewart also described the film as woke. She said, God, it's so funny. I know if I say this in a certain way, I know that this will be written down, but it's not such a bad thing. It's kind of like a woke version. The problem is that, nobody wants to have a woke version of anything. So Charlie's Angels in 2000, it opened to 40.1 million. Full Throttle opened to 37.6 million. So those are the benchmarks right there. That these movies are gonna want to. That movie's gonna want to open up much higher than that, to even have a chance to go on and become a trilogy. And if you want my honest opinion, if they are going with this whole woke agenda thing, I don't think that young girls are gonna head to the movies. I don't think that young men will find these women attractive enough. I hate to say it that way, but they won't find them attractive enough to want to go and see this movie. So I don't see what the appeal is to the average moviegoer. It doesn't look like that great of an action film. I think it's a Netflix sort of movie. That is, you watch it on Netflix 2 years from now. But anywho, don't go watch Terminator Dark Fate. And probably don't go watch this one either. Enjoy the rest of your days. If you like this, the content on this channel, please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you later.